I should have seen it coming a mile away. Trouble, I mean. There was trouble written all over the old lady. Trouble on her wrinkled and worn overcoat. Trouble on her creased and sweaty forehead. She claimed it was the steam heating. But I knew better.
Could you turn down the steam? I wasn't counting on a bath when I walked in here.
Nervous?
Nervous? You're the one should be nervous. I'm what you call a prospective client. That's the term you detectives use, right?
It'll do.
Malarkey? Such a name. How'd you get a name like that?
It came with the parents.
Now your first name, Clio, that's another matter.
Yeah. My sentiments exactly. It's what happens when you got two history buffs from Mom and Pop, named their one and only after some ancient Greek god. The one was in charge of history, could never stomach the subject in high school. F's straight through.
Ah, such a disappointment to your parents.
Listen, lady.
The name is Sadie.
Listen, Sadie. Just what kind of a job do you have in mind?
A mystery to be solved, of course. A detective, and I have to tell him this.
What kind of a mystery?
A how-come mystery.
How come mystery?
You know, like in How Come This Came to Be? I don't understand what happened. To America, I mean. The country I lived in all my life, it's different than before. It doesn't make any sense. How come, when I was a little girl, women and black people weren't allowed to vote? Many people were coming to America, mainly Jews and Italians. The air was filled with factory smoke, and my father, he worked 10, 12 hours a day. How come now women and black people can vote? There's an 8-hour day, but no factory smoke because the factories have shut down or gone somewhere else, and the new people, they're Spanish and Asian. And that's only a few of the how comes. It's like I woke up one morning and things were different. All this history going on, and I didn't even know it. I want to know why things got to be the way they are. How come this happened?
How come the sky is blue?
A comedian I'm not looking for. One other thing. How come I tell my grandson about the important events I remember, like the strike that closed down this town when I was a teenager, and he just gives me a blank look? How come what he learns in history is presidents and elections and not what happened to me? I want some answers, Mr. Detective Clio Malarkey. I'm prepared to pay your standard fee.
Sadie, you said the magic word. So, the old lady was a nutcase. I couldn't afford to be particular. She was the only client to darken my door in weeks. My first stop was Terry's Bar and Grill, the usual when I started on a case. A place where you could ease a thirst and ask a few questions, maybe even get some answers. The Mouth was perched in his customary booth, his office he called it. Name your poison, Mouth.
Always a pleasure to see you, Malarkey.
Yeah, well, the drink's got a price tag tonight. What's the word about history on the street?
Come again?
I need facts, Mouth. I need a whole lot of how-comes answered. About how things got to be the way they are. No small change, just big bills. You get me?
You weird, Malarkey. Never let nobody say you ain't weird.
Yeah, spare me the small talk. Just give me the history.
History? Who wants to know that? It's just the here and now. That's all that counts, Malarkey. Where's history get you?
Gets me my fee. That's all you need to know.
Thomas Randolph Consensus.
In English, mouth. I don't parlay Latin.
Thomas Randolph Consensus. Don't that ring a bell? Guy what wrote the book, My Country, 'Tis of Thee? What every boy and girl in this crummy burg read in school. You want to know about history? Consensus is the name of the game. If you're so inclined.
Consensus. Of course. A name buried deep in my past. My Country, 'Tis of Thee. One of those textbooks with a lot of names and dates in italics, like Tariff and Amendment, Columbus and Lincoln, 1492 and 1776. If I was going to get any of those how comes answered, a hotshot historian like Consensus seemed tailor-made for the job.
Always delighted to meet a reader, Mr. Malarkey. Were you an enthusiastic scholar, or merely an acquaintance of my book, as it were?
Acquaintance. A nodding one at that.
Oh, Mr. Malarkey, very good indeed. A quick wit. A welcome change from the usual company I keep.
Huh? You mean me, boss?
So, you were one of my captive audience, as it were. Sat in your high school history class with a sullen, bored expression on your acneed face. That is, when you showed up for class at all. But I'm monopolizing our little repartee. What can I do for you, sir?
I need some questions answered, Dr. Consensus. Questions about how things got to be the way they are.
Oh, Mr. Malarkey. Such folly that you were so inattentive in high school. The answers were all in the pages of My Country, 'Tis of Thee. Reading it would have spared you the bother of a trip.
There's only one thing I learned from your book. I hated history.
You watch your mouth, bub, or I'll rework your face.
No. There's no need for apologies. Mr. Parkman here will be more than pleased to fetch a copy of my book with which to refresh your tarnished memory. Won't you, Parkman?
Parkman came back into the room. What he held in his mitts made my blood run cold. The laggard hard covers, the smell of the slick paper. It set my teeth on edge. It took all I had to growl at the punk. Keep that away from me.
No, Mr. Malarkey. Take it with my compliments. I'm only trying to help. It's decisions you wish to know about. The decisions of the men who led America, and through their actions expressed the will of the American people. That's what determined the progress of our nation. Now, a little test, sir.
I got a policy. I don't take tests. Gave 'em up in school.
Indulge me, sir. Surely just a bit of my book rubbed off on you? Surely you can name one of those great men?
You're the historian. You tell me.
Oh, very well, Mr. Malarkey. You disappoint me, though. Parkman, name one of the great men who made decisions affecting us to this day, to address Mr. Malarkey's delightful question.
George Washington.
George Washington, excellent choice, if a bit predictable.
Yeah, now it's my turn. Parkman, what about something like the strike I hear closed this town some years back? What does no one about George or any great man tell me about that?
That ain't a proper question, bub.
Too tough for you, Parky?
No, not too tough, as you put it, Mr. Malarkey. Not a difficult question at all. Merely irrelevant. Parkman, help me up. I want to show you something. Something very interesting. This, sir, is the stuff of American history. Men like Washington, Lincoln, FDR, Kennedy. Learn about the lives and views of such great men, their tragedies as well as their triumphs, and you will be asking the right question and getting the correct answer. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have an appointment at the educational television station. Parkman, my coat.
Something was eating at me. A voice saying consensus wasn't on the level. I asked Sadie's question, and all I got was another question and a picture that didn't answer anything. Or maybe it did. So when Consensus and Parkman turned away, I borrowed the painting. Back in my office, I took it out. Looked like an ordinary picture to me. I pulled out the trusty old magnifying glass. Things looked different close up. More going on in the boats, it looked like. Vague figures on the shore. Dab of benzene made it clearer. What was that? A black man in chains? Hey, who were those guys working so hard on the shoreline? And that group fighting in the right-hand corner? Then I remembered seeing this other historian once on Donahue. Smart guy, smooth talker. Told all kinds of amusing stories, had the audience rolling. No mean feat on Donahue, let me tell you. Milton Multitudes. Yeah, that was his moniker. Next day, I got a copy made of Consensus's painting. Color Xerox. Cost me a bundle. And I stashed the painting in a safe place and went in search of Multitudes.
Yes, Mr. Malarkey. You're quite right. Something is going on in this picture.
Yeah, I thought so.
The lives of America's common people. Fascinating stories. The saga of our nation just wouldn't be the same without them.
That's what the picture tells you, huh?
Yes. You notice there that black man and the two men digging on the shore? Immigrants, most likely. And then the woman in the boat? You see, Clio, I may call you Clio. Along with the stars of American history, like Washington, for instance, blacks, all kinds of immigrants, women, they all played their small parts.
Like extras in a movie.
Good analogy.
Yeah. Great decisions, my foot.
Excuse me?
Well, I was just referring to the gentleman who lent me this picture. The decisions of great men. You find out about them and you'll find out how things got to be the way they are. That's what he said.
Well, Clio, your friend wasn't all that wrong.
He wasn't?
No. As I said to Phil, Donahue, that is, our leaders and their policies have always stood for what the little people of America believed in. That's why Washington's up there pointing the way, and everybody else is pitching in with such exuberance. Without that unity of purpose, well, there just wouldn't be any USA, would there? That's what your picture's about, Clio.
I don't know, Doc. One big happy family? What were these guys fighting about then?
Oh, families have their itty-bitty quarrels, but they don't mean anything really.
I still don't get it, Doc. Now, what about a strike, like the big one in this burg some time back? Now, where's that fit into the big story?
I don't think you're getting my point, Clio. The strike, and the stirring tale it was, it didn't play a part in the big story. It's part of, well, the little story.
It doesn't count.
It's a good little story.
Yeah, but when you're counting all the chips of American history and adding them up, those little chips aren't worth much, huh?
That's a good analogy.
When I left, that little voice inside me was still squawking, saying Multitudes wasn't on the level either. The voice wasn't loud enough, though. Oh!
Hey, what are you doing?
I was looking into the face of an angel. But the aching in my head told me I wasn't dead.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I think so.
I could have sworn I saw Professor Multitudes going through your pockets.
Guess he was more interested in the picture than I thought.
That must be some picture you got there. Let me see.
Sure, more the merrier. But how about someplace more comfortable? Like over a nice hot cup of java.
Sure.
Ooh, the coffee was terrible. But the conversation was solid gold. Her name was Dee Dubitandum, and yeah, she was a historian too. I told Dee the whole strange story about Sadie and her questions, about consensus and his great men and decisions, about multitudes and the common people. When I was done, Dee gave a Bronx cheer. Hey, from her, anything sounded good. So what's your story then?
Do I hear a note of skepticism in your voice?
Look, everybody I've talked to's given me the runaround.
And why should I be any different, right?
Well, yeah. Who'd have thought historians were such a shifty bunch
Now, Clio. Who said history was simple? The question you're asking is a toughie, sure to raise hackles. You want to hear what I have to say about the picture or what?
Yeah, shoot. Metaphorically speaking, of course.
Okay. First, there's Consensus's version. George standing up there in the boat. That's the history we're taught. In school, on TV, in the movies, the stories of the great leaders of government, business, society, culture, you name it. But surprise, everybody else is missing.
So, Multitudes was right.
No, not at all. Multitude says ordinary people were there too. All those folks rowing in the boat, working on the shore, so what? How's that really different from Consensus's story? To both of them, ordinary people were just the crowd cheering in the bleachers, backing up the home team.
Some big, happy family.
You notice those people fighting on the shore, though.
Yeah, that's been bothering me.
It should. You got that magnifying glass handy?
Sure, right here. What Dee showed me didn't exactly crack the case, but finally I saw a way to begin to answer Sadie's questions. After the coffee, we headed back to my office. There was a welcoming committee waiting for us. Well, if it ain't Tweedledee and Tweedledum, not to mention Tweedledummer. I get any messages while I was out?
Watch your mouth, bub.
Ah, that irreverent wit again, Mr. Malarkey. As a matter of fact, you did receive a call from a rather outspoken senior citizen, as it were, by the name of Sadie. When I learned she was the source of your inquiries, I took the liberty of inviting her to our little get-together. She should be here at any moment.
Always the gentleman.
I haven't had the pleasure, Miss...
Dubitandum. D-O dubitandum. From the Latin. It means doubt everything, which is what she's always doing, wasting people's time.
That true?
If you're asking about my name, Malarkey, the answer's yes. History buffs for parents, like you, they always told me, weigh the historical evidence, words, pictures, photographs. Seeing's not believing, Clio, and what you don't see right off can be as important as what you do see. You remember what we saw in the... The
painting! Where is it, Malarkey?
Oh, yeah, the painting. It's in a nice, cozy place. Don't worry about it.
Hand it over, bub, or else.
Whoa there, Parky. All in good time. What I don't get's why you guys are so hot about this little picture. I mean, it's kind of cute. All those itty-bitty things you don't see going on the first time around.
Mr. Malarkey, arch to the bitter end. We covet that little picture so because it is the essence of American history, the genius of democracy, the great man leading the nation forward, supported by the electorate.
And as long as you have the painting, no one can take a good look and ask any embarrassing questions.
Questions, my dear?
Questions like why those people are fighting in it.
Fighting? Always over-dramatizing. I'd call it a misunderstanding. A temporary failure to communicate.
Seemed more serious than that to me.
Look, Malarkey, I'll make it short and sweet. Petty or not, these quarrels don't have much to do with American history.
They have everything to do with it. There were other roads America could have taken, other ideas about what the nation should be. Nothing was set. There was no master plan. People argued. They even fought over your great decisions. Ordinary people. They fought wars over what America should be, like slave or free. They rebelled against laws and leadership they thought unjust. They went out on strike to win rights denied them.
Strike? This must have something to do with me.
Ah, the little lady so interested in history.
The very same.
I'm sure Mr. Malarkey will be happy to lend you his copy of my book to answer your questions. Now, Mr. Malarkey, the painting.
Why should I believe you? Why should I believe any of you?
Enough. Parkman, persuade Mr. Malarkey to divulge the whereabouts of the painting. Use your imagination.
Finally!
You want the picture so bad, it's all yours. Might take some work, though, getting to it.
Should I plug a Dr. Consensus?
Mr. Malarkey, you grow tiresome.
Just giving you some friendly advice.
All right, Parkman.
You're sitting on it.
What?
You're sitting on it.
What?
Long distance call for you, Bob.
Ah, my gun!
Thanks, Sadie. I got your message. As they say in the trade, stick 'em up.
You barbarian! You've ruined it!
I don't know. Kind of resembles American history to me. Messy at times. Not a neat picture at all.
I think it's time you boys left.
Parkman, leave that junk.
Mark my words, Malarkey. You haven't heard the last of us yet.
I'm afraid that's probably true.
So, Sadie, case closed. Aren't you happy?
This is what you call an answer, Mr. Detective Malarkey? I think it's more questions you give me.
It's a start, Sadie. You want to know why things got to be the way they are, right? Then you have to look at what happened to America's working people and how they acted in response. You need to know how the economy changed and how work changed with it, and how working people's actions affected those changes. How different people became workers through time, coming from abroad, migrating from different parts of this country, all of them helping to build America. And it didn't happen overnight. America kept changing. It keeps changing. You have to look at how Americans fought over ideals and the nation's future. Politics, even sports, and how people raised families, they're all part of the story. It's not simple. Demands a lot of looking and thinking. So what do you say?
Sounds okay by me. When do we start?
Right away. How about you, Malarkey?
Me? Oh, this is where I get off. I got a policy.
Oh, shut up, Malarkey. We got work to do.
Well, that's the story. More like a beginning than an end. Yeah, you want a whodunit, go read Agatha Christie. As for me, I'm still pounding the pavement, doing my gumshoe act. But history's part of my line now. Working out what happened and why. History. The big H, I call it. It's still a mystery. But I'm working on it.